Hi, and welcome to Piano with Georgia. I'm Georgia, and in today's lesson, Lesson 9, we are going to change what you can play and the way you think about what you play forever. We are diving deep into thirds, and then we're going to use them to build chords of different types. So hop on your bench or chair, and let's get started. Before we get started, please support the channel by giving a like and subscribing. Now this is a big day. We have reached a moment that will change the way you play and what you can play forever. Thirds. Just like with seconds, there is a major version and a minor version. For more on that, click here or here to go back to Lesson 8. And just like with seconds, the major is a little bigger or wider, and the minor is a little smaller or closer. But instead of building scales, thirds build chords. And guess what? Chords build songs. You can stack together our two types of thirds in many different ways, and they will sound different. And that creates many different types of chords. So, let's do it. Play from a C to an E. Notice there are 3 empty keys in between. You can also think of it as you've traveled 1, 2, 3, 4 half steps, if that makes more sense to you. Now, play from D to F. Notice there are only 2 empty keys in between, or you've traveled 1, 2, 3 half steps. Now you have your 2 examples of a wider or bigger third and a smaller third. They are both thirds because if we count alphabet letters, we span 3 notes: C, D, E, D, E, F. In official music vocabulary, the bigger third is called a major third, and the smaller third is called a minor third. Those 2 words, major and minor, are used for so many different purposes in music. Scales, chords, intervals, they all use those terms, major and minor, to describe them. It is really easy to feel mixed up, so go into it knowing that those words are going to apply to several things. Generally speaking, they describe a sound. Major tends to sound more cheerful, while minor tends to sound more melancholy. Now let's put into action our 2 types of thirds and use the pattern formula to find them based on any note. Let's start on A. We need 1, 2, 3 empty notes, and then the next note we play. Or again, you can think of it as traveling from your start note. 1, 2, 3, 4 half steps, and boom, you've landed. This is a major third. Our big version. Now, start on A. But let's leave 1, 2 empty notes in between, or travel 1, 2, 3 half steps and land. This is our minor third, the small one. Let's now practice transforming major thirds to minor thirds and minor thirds to major thirds. Let's start on E and build a major third. Play E, then count 1, 2, 3 empty notes. Boom, land on the next one. Major third. Notice that to make it a minor third, all we have to do is just go back 1 key. Or from a minor third, just go up 1 key and transformer, it's a major third. You can keep the bottom note the same and change the higher note. Start on white keys, then start on black keys. The distance is the same. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's stack those thirds. Play me your C chord. You know it. Look more closely and notice that a chord is actually 2/3 stacked on top of each other. The bottom part is C to E. That's the bigger version. 1, 2, 3. A major third. The top part is E to G. That's the smaller distance, only 1, 2 empty, a minor third. Anytime you build a chord this way, it will make the same basic sound. A major chord. Here's another use of major, the word as it applies to chords. You have just learned to create a major chord. Try it on G. 1, 2, 3 empties, play the next note. 1, 2 empty, play the next note. G major, major third on the bottom, minor third on the top. Try it starting on D. You should need a black key here. Travel 1, 2, 3, 4 half steps. We have 1, 2, 3 empty notes, major third. Let's hold on to those. And 1, 2 empties, traveling 3 half steps. Major chord. It's generally thought of as a happier sounding combo. I just remember that major chords have a major third on the bottom. Now you know the behind-the-scenes pattern of what you've been doing. Well, what's a minor chord then, you ask? Here we go. Let's do our stack with the bottom note as A. Just play white keys. Notice that the distance from A to C is the smaller version, only 2 empty notes, a minor third. What about C to E? That's the bigger version, a major third. So our combo is a small distance on the bottom with a bigger distance on the top. You've created a minor chord. You've flipped it. You've also created a different sound, a more sad, melancholy sound, a minor chord. I like to remember that a minor chord has a minor third on the bottom, just like our major chord had a major third on the bottom, but both chord types use both types of thirds. You do not have to learn 24 different chords on the piano. You learn the formula of how to create them, and then you can build a major or a minor chord on any note. So, time to practice, and let's make some music in the process. Pick a note and build a major chord on top of it. 1, 2, 3 empties, play the next note. 1, 2 empties, play the next note. Major chord. Chords that are all thirds, by the way, are named by their lowest note. C major, G major, A minor. You can also notice that there is a pattern to transform a major chord to a minor chord or a minor chord back to a major chord. Now, lower the middle note a half step, and you'll be playing the minor version of the same chord. Go back and forth. C major, C minor. Play them as arpeggios. Switch to different notes and make major and minor chords. A minor, A major. Songs are created by combining different chords together. Try this. Play a C major chord. switch to an A minor chord. Switch back to C major. Cool stuff, right? You can also try stacking two major thirds on top of each other. Major thirds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or two minor thirds. 1, 2, 3. Travel, empty, empty. You can even add another third on top of a chord. Empty, 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 play. Empty, empty, play. You get even more variety in your chords and your sounds. All of these patterns have names, but for now, don't worry about that. Experiment first, and then we will apply the official music labels later. I think you've done a lot of labeling for one lesson. Today was a big lesson with a lot of detailed information. Review any of the chapters again, but most of all, engage with the information using your fingers and piano. It will start to stick the more you do it. Every time you walk past your piano, play a chord. If you ever forget your secret formula, play your C chord from your warm-up. It shows you a major third, the big one, on the bottom, and a minor third, the small one, on the top. Watch for a guided practice session to go along with this lesson coming soon. Please ask questions in the comments below. The YouTube algorithm likes comments, and guess what? So do I. It has been amazing to me to hear from you and know that you're enjoying playing the piano. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.